Let me tell you about a man named Benaiah. You've probably never heard of him. His name isn't in the history books they teach in school. There are no statues of him in museums, no movies made about his life. But what he did on one snowy day, what he chose in a single moment of terror, defied everything we think we know about courage. Because when Baniah saw a lion, a massive predator that could tear a man apart in seconds, he didn't run. He didn't freeze. He didn't call for help. He chased it into a pit in the middle of a snowstorm. And what happened in that darkness would echo through generations. This is ancient Israel, around 1000 BC. King David ruled the kingdom from Jerusalem, and his army was legendary across the known world. Warriors from every tribe wanted to serve in David's forces. They trained from childhood. They lived for battle. They died for honor. But even among these elite fighters, even among men who had seen war their entire lives, there were some who stood out. Benaiah was the son of Jehoiada, a priest from a small town called Kabzeel. It was a dusty village in the south, near the edge of the wilderness. He wasn't royalty. He didn't come from wealth or political power. His father served in the temple, not the palace. But Benaiah had something else, something you couldn't teach: a reputation. Scripture describes him simply as a valiant fighter. But that phrase doesn't capture what made him different. It doesn't tell you what other soldiers whispered about him around campfires. Benaiah didn't just fight battles. He fought battles no one else would touch. The impossible ones, the suicidal ones. He had already killed 2 of Moab's mightiest warriors. These weren't ordinary soldiers. These were champions. Men whose names alone terrified entire armies. Men who stood over 7 feet tall and had never lost in combat. Benaiah faced them alone and won, both times. But this day in the snow, this day would be different. It was winter. Snow covered the ground, something rare for this region. The kind of cold that made your fingers ache and your breath visible in clouds. The kind of day when smart men stayed indoors. And somewhere in that frozen wilderness, hunting, hungry, dangerous, there was a lion. This wasn't a zoo animal behind bars. This wasn't some declawed pet. This was a wild lion, a killer. Ancient Israel had lions roaming freely through the hills and valleys, apex predators. Some weighed over 500 pounds. Their jaws could crush bone. Their claws could disembowel a man with one swipe. They were known to drag off shepherds, to kill experienced hunters, to attack without warning. And on this day, Benaiah was alone. Maybe he was traveling between outposts. Maybe he was hunting. Maybe he was scouting. We don't know why he was out there, but we know what happened next. He saw it. The lion. Moving through the snow, its golden coat stark against the white landscape, breath steaming in the cold air. Every survival instinct screams the same thing in that moment. Don't make sudden moves. Don't run. Running triggers the chase instinct. Don't make eye contact, just back away slowly. Live to see another day. But Benaiah didn't back away. Their eyes met, and the lion made its decision. It ran. Not toward him, away from him. The lion was retreating, looking for shelter, for safety, and it found one. A pit. These pits were everywhere in that region. Old cisterns that had dried up, abandoned wells, natural caves where the ground had collapsed. Some were 10 feet deep. Some were 30. This one was deep enough that the lion felt safe jumping down into it. Deep enough that it thought it had escaped. The smart move? Let it go. The lion was contained, trapped. The threat was neutralized. Baniah could walk away, report the location, come back with 20 men and spears, handle it safely. But this This is where everything changes. Baniah made a decision that defies logic, that defies training, that defies every ounce of common sense. He walked to the edge of the pit. The snow was still falling. The wind was cutting through his cloak. He looked down into the darkness, and somewhere below he could hear it. The lion, pacing, breathing. And he went in. He chased the lion, into the pit, in the snow, alone. Imagine this moment. Close your eyes and put yourself there. You're at the edge of a pit. Your heart is pounding so hard you can feel it in your throat. Your hands are shaking, not from cold, but from adrenaline. You take a breath, and you climb down. It's cold, it's dark. The walls are slick with ice. You can barely see your own hands in front of you. And somewhere in that darkness, breathing, growling, cornered, there's a lion. Above ground, the lion has every advantage. It has speed, it has space to maneuver, it can retreat, circle, choose its moment. But in the pit, everything changes. The very thing that trapped the lion also trapped its greatest weapons. There was nowhere to run, no room to build speed for a charge, no space to circle around for a better angle. This was face to face. This was hand to hand. This was winner takes all. Scripture doesn't give us the details of the fight. We don't know how long it lasted, seconds, minutes. We don't know how many times Benaiah was knocked down, how close he came to dying. We don't know if he used a sword, a spear, or his bare hands. But we know how it ended. Benaiah killed the lion, in hand-to-hand combat, in a pit, in the snow, in the dark. And then, he climbed back out, bloodied, torn, exhausted, every muscle screaming, but alive. And here's what's remarkable. Here's what should make you stop and think. This wasn't the defining moment of his career. This wasn't the story that made him famous. This was only the beginning.
This is the kind of man I want beside me.
Word spread, as it always does. Benaiah would go on to serve 3 kings, David, Solomon, and the generations that followed learned his name. He would become commander of Israel's entire army under Solomon, one of the most powerful military leaders in the nation's history, a man trusted with the security of an entire kingdom. But it all started here, in a pit, with a lion, in the snow, when no one was watching. So here's the question I want to ask you. What's your lion? For Baniah, it was literal, fur and fangs and claws. For us, it's usually something else. A conversation you've been avoiding for months, a truth you're terrified to speak out loud, a relationship that's broken and you don't know how to fix it, a career change that feels too risky, a dream that seems too big, a fear that has you paralyzed. And this ancient story, this moment in the snow 3,000 years ago, reveals something timeless about human courage. Sometimes, the only way out is through, not around, not later, not when you're more ready. Through. Not every battle is ours to choose. We don't get to pick our lions, but how we face them, that's always our choice. Benaiah could have walked away. No one would have blamed him. No one would have called him a coward. He'd already proven himself a dozen times over. But some battles don't disappear when ignored. They just wait. They grow. They get worse. And finally, this is the one that cuts deep. Character is built when no one is watching. No cameras, no witnesses, no applause. No one there to tell the story later. Just you, your fear, and a choice. The soldiers heard about it later. King David heard about it later. History remembered it. But in that moment, Benaiah was alone. Private courage became public legacy. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, from the small town of Kabzeel, a priest's son, a warrior, a man who could have played it safe 100 times. But instead, he stepped into the dark. So I'll ask you one more time. What's your lion? What's the thing you've been running from? What's the pit you need to climb into? What's the battle that's waiting for you? Because maybe today's the day you stop running and start chasing. If this story stayed with you, if something in it felt familiar, you don't have to face it alone. Below this video, you'll find a few carefully chosen resources that align with the heart of this story. Not quick fixes, not empty motivation, just thoughtful material meant to help you reflect clearly and move forward with purpose. Explore them if you feel led. Ignore them if you don't. Either way, thank you for spending this time with us.